Okay, we're underway here. Action at Broomstones Curling Club in the USWCA National Bonspiel. We're on the last seconds rocks here in the first end in our featured game on sheet 2 between Nutmeg 2 and Racine. The Nutmeg 2 team will be throwing the red rocks, Racine throwing yellow. And it looks like yellow, the Racine team, will have the hammer in the first end. All right, Vice Stone underway. Looks like we're looking for a hit, some sort of a double possibly. It looks to be over curling. Gonna pick out their own guard and spill both. Oh, spill one rock. Two yellows, one guard, one on the top 8 foot, and looking to build on that, possibly get a 2 here with hammer. So skip Lisa Johnson from Racine, looking to draw another rock in, asking her vice Diane Kelly to bring one around with the old intern draw. Rock on its way. Looks to have a lot of weight. Sweepers are watching it. They may be spectators on this rock as it's sailing across the tee line and all the way through the rings. Well, it's a missed opportunity there for the Racine team, and that will give Nutmeg a chance to run that double again. A little bit less junk in the way, a little more broom. And if Mora can actually make this shot here, open it right up. This rock seems to be hanging a little bit outside, and it looks like it's going to clip a guard. Well, 2 missed opportunities on those hits, but less junk up front now, more access to those rocks. So let's see if we're going for another draw in again with Racine. Actually changing it up, looking to put a guard up now on the outturn side. Final Vice Stone here for Racine. This one looks to have much better speed than the last stone, but still a little hot, a little tight as well. It's starting to come back towards center line. Might be calling a plan B and a little bit of a bump here. That actually should work out quite well. Raise a second stone in, leave a center guard. So now yellow sits 2, and we are down to skip rocks. So Muldowney now here will try to draw around that pile and see if they can get one into the top 4 behind cover. Turn the tables and put some pressure on the Racine team. Looks like they've abandoned that hit. Lisa settles down into the hack and is ready to throw. Sweepers are keeping an eye on it. A little bit of sweeping here. Now they're going hard at it, trying to keep it straight around that guard. His weight's looking pretty good. Looks like it's going to come up a little short. Just clips a piece of the one on the 4 foot and looks to be sitting second count maybe? Yep, second count. But it is exposed and it will give a chance for Racine to take that out and lie 3. Now looks to be the shot call. Nice control weight hit. So First skip stone here for Racine's Lisa Johnson. Nice downweight hit. Oh, appears Lisa's a lefty. And rock away. Nice clean release. Looks to be hanging a little bit. Sweepers are on it though, so must be coming over. They're trying to hold it. It looks to be it's over curled, and it has clipped the guard. And it's run the guard straight through. So yellow still lies one. Last rock coming up for Nutmeg. Trying to decide what to do here. Are sitting second count. Both yellow rocks. They're pretty much lined up for a double here if they hit it in the nose. It's an interesting call here. I'm not quite sure what they're doing. It might be a tap. Come across the face of that, potentially tap it towards a 4 foot for count. That kind of broom, that could be what the call is here. Well, we're about to find out when she throws this what kind of weight she's got. It does look like draw weight. Maybe a little heavy for draw, actually. It's kind of riding down that sweep line. Will it get by the guard? It's trying to come over. Ooh, gets a little wick off the guard. And looks to be too heavy. It might tap that deep in the house, so it's all the way to the back 8 now. So it still looks to be yellow sitting 1. And a draw in for 2 is the call. All right, final rock in the way. Looks to be really tight on that guard. They got to sweep if they're going to get by. And it doesn't look like they're going to. They're hitting that guard pretty solidly. And I have a feeling that's going to end up just being the 1 yellow. So we'll wait for them to hang the score before we put that 1 in the books, but I have a feeling that was just 1 with the hammer there for Racine, and we're going to move on to the second. Nutmeg to the Muldowney rink will get a chance with the hammer in the even end here. Lead stone here in second end. For Racine, it looks to be a very tight guard. A little off the center line, but a pretty good throw. And Nutmeg, Skip Muldowney asking for a center guard. So Felicia Howland with a nice rock on its way. Sweepers get on it a little bit early to try to keep it out off that center line. starts to curl. It might be bringing it around at this point. Looks to be a little heavy. Look at this. It's coming right around. Well, top 4 weight. About a quarter rock buried. It's a good shot. Skip from Racine, wasting no time, calling for a takeout. A little push there. That's out near that sweep line. Doesn't look like it's going to come back enough to get the piece of the rock. It's starting to turn. Might be a little too late though. It sails by. Call for Nutmeg. Another center guard. Check that one in the 4-foot. Nice line on this rock. Although it does look to be a little hot, you might be tapping on the one in the 4-foot here. Yeah, there's going to be a little tap split here. And 2 rocks in the 4-foot now. Call is a hit again. Let's see if we can get some contact on this rock. Line looks much better on this. They may have to sweep. This is a little tight. Sweepers are on it. All right, they're by the double, but they're going to get at least the 1, maybe a little roll on top. Oh, that's a nice shot. Hit and roll. They're sitting second counter, biting the 4-foot. It's in a good place to be. Could help cut down a big end here. And once again, with hammered, Nutmeg calling for a center guard. This looks to be very heavy. I don't know if that's going to stop in front of the rings. Well, it's starting to curl. Looks like they're sweeping this for line a bit. And they're around the guard, but they're probably going to jam it. Yep, jamming it right into their own. And might have just knocked themselves off of count. I think it looks like 1 yellow by about an inch or so. And wasting no time, Racine going to ask for a guard. See if they can keep their 1. Sweeper's on this hard right out of the hand. Looks to be light, but the line's nice. They can come over back towards center. Just got to get it over. Well, they do get it over. Very long guard. Well, that leaves Diane Muldowney here trying to figure out how to get this yellow counter off the 4-foot. Couple of guards up front. All right, looking to just clear one of these guards. Potentially throw it back into the ring, see if he can get some action. Out turn hit coming. Looks to be really narrow. They got to go. Sweepers are on it. I don't think they're going to be able to hold this for the double. Now come off. All right, they get the clear. Roll it over. All right, now all 3 rocks in the house are exposed. And the call for Racine is to put that guard right back. This one's very tight on the broom. Sweepers are trying to hold that line. It's a little heavy too, so you're gonna get a little action off this red one. Catches a piece of it and rolls. Now that red one's locked on now to that yellow. But it does look like there's a jam with the one in the back four, so just gonna throw the hit, see what kind of action she gets here. I have a feeling that yellow's gonna stay for count though. So this is the vice for Nutmeg, Morakaki. Oh, really tight. Got to sweep hard. A lot of weight though, so it is holding. Ooh, could be a nice little double here. Boom, boom. Got some movement. Very nice. Now red sits two. Excellent shot. Doesn't spill out of the rings, but does get them out into the 12-foot. They won't be as much of a problem now. But they do leave those rocks exposed, and Racine's going to go right after them. Nice amount of weight here from the vice from Racine, Diane Kelly. Kind of riding that line. It looks like it might just be a nose hit on the outside one. Yeah, a little bit of a flop outside. Just threw it through the break on that one. Not a bad shot though. And final vice stone here for Nutmeg. They're asking for a small tap here. T-line weight. Sweeping that for line here. Looking pretty good. Might be a little heavy though. A little tap split. Moves it to the back 8. A little bite of the back 4. So now they are line 2 again. Separated by about 5-6 feet. And very aggressive call here without hammer, deciding instead of the hit here to just draw to the one in the back 4, see if they can sit on that or freeze, potentially steal a point here. Lisa Johnson's rock, first rock of the end on its way. Sweeper's just watching, a little bit heavy, a little bit outside, but it's going to slow down out there. It's not curling though. It's going to stay out and exposed. They have to sweep it for weight. It is dying out in the frost. And it's going to come up real light, just barely, nope, 3-guard, not even into the rings. It just died out in the frost. It's the chance you take when you go for those outside lines that haven't been thrown yet. And now Nutmeg actually shaping up for a nice big end here. If they can just nose hit this, they'll be line probably 3, depending on what kind of roll they get on this hit. It could be line 3. So action in the other 3 games on the ice tonight. Got 1-point ends in the first end of all 4 games here. On sheet 1, it's the Montgomery rink with the 1 in the first end. And on sheet 4, it was the Clancy rink with 1. And the Callaway rink from Exmoor on sheet 3 got a 1 in the first end. So tight games to start. We're wrapping up second end on all these sheets. All right, and back to our action here. The takeout is on its way. The sweepers get on it about halfway down the ice. They're dragging it out there a little, so they come off. Looks to be a good nose hit here. Maybe a little inside flop. Very nice shot. And they do lie 3 now. With only 1 rock to go for each team, this shapes up to be a big end, possibly, if you don't make a big shot here for the Racine team. And they're playing a very aggressive style here. They're going to try to throw that tap raise on the rock they just threw. I mean, if you don't make this shot, you leave your opponent to draw for 4. So this is a very risky shot here. You put a lot of pressure on to make this. But they didn't waste a lot of time deciding on it, and they are throwing it. Sweeper's watching it. Looks to have plenty of weight. It is kind of riding outside, though. Is it going to come over and get a piece? It does get a piece, but not enough to make it a counter. So it is still 3 red and a draw for a 4th to put up a nice big end in the second here. Should be a pretty straightforward shot here. Just throw it right at the one on the top 8 foot. Just give it a little bump and take your 4 and move on to the third. And Diane's hammer on the way. Sweepers are dragging it out of her hand, trying to get it all the way down the ice. I think they need to come off. It's looking pretty good. It's got plenty of weight. Nice little shot, rolls it in and takes the 4. Moving on to the third, up 4-1. Just want to switch over to sheet 3 for a quick second. We are waiting on Skip Stone here from the Cape Cod rink, Calaccio. They're looking at a real ugly house. There are 5 yellow stones sitting in the rings. 2 of them right on the 4 foot. Actually, the second one of those is actually on the button. So it's a really, really tough shot here early on in the game. Looks like she needs to just try to draw in to cut them down. If she can get count out of this, I'd be very impressed. Rock on the way. It's out there. Let's see if it comes back. Looks to be a little heavy. Uh-oh. This looks to be really heavy. Looks to be at least 2, if not 3 yellows. Gonna be 3 yellows on that. So a steal of 3 for the Callaway rink, and they're going to go up 4-0 on sheet 3. It's unfortunate she wasn't able to make that draw a little better, cut them down a couple more. But they still got a long way to go. 6 ends more to play. And we'll get back to our featured sheet on 2. All right, lead stone for Nutmeg slipped into the rings, and Racine's looking to try to take a hit on that. Just got a piece of it, but not enough to remove it. It is still sitting top 12 right now. Nutmeg looking to put up a guard. Second rock here for Felicia Howland. It's going to be an out turn. Rock looks pretty good. Line's nice. Starting to sweep this. It is turning hard. Might have picked up on something on the ice because that's turning very hard left, and now it's reversing and coming back to the right and hogs. So I got to imagine that might have picked up a piece of rubber off the ice or something, because that rock did not react properly. That happens from time to time. And that gives another opportunity for the Racine team to throw a hit here at the Nutmeg Stone in the 12-foot with hammer. And this one looks to be getting a much bigger piece of the rock. Absolutely. Little inside nose, removes it and rolls back towards the sweep line. Muldowney from Nutmeg content to trade hits here, especially with a 4-1 lead. Nice solid hit on the way here from Karen Shane. And a nice flop right back to center line. Nutmeg lies 1, top 8. And Racine looking to throw the hit. First rock for Barb Vanderleest. Little bit of a shove here. It's tracking outside. A little wide. It might catch a piece. Comes over enough at the end to remove the rock, but their shooter is... Ooh, it's very close. It might be sticking around on the outside. It's biter bar could come into play on this end. So Karen Shane being asked to throw the outturn draw over to the edge of the sheet, looking for some T-line weight. It is a little wide and a little hot. Just not curling going in that direction right now. It's count sitting back 8. And Racine's going to look to draw in front of it. Give yourself some backing here. Final stone for second, Barb Vanderleest. It says here Barb's a golfer in the summer. I think that's a pretty common trait for curlers, to be golfers in the summer. Nice line on this stone. Taps it out. And leaves yellow line 1, potentially 2. We're not sure about that one on the outside 12. So first vice stone here for Nutmeg 2. Seems to be over curling a little bit. Yeah, They missed it on line. Let's see how the weight is. Oh, it looks to be a little heavy. Racine skips sweeping to try to get it out of the rings. It's actually now sitting second counter in the full 12 foot. But Racine's going to choose to ignore that and ask Diane Kelly here to just throw another yellow rock into the rings, make it second counter. Sweepers are off it, saying it's hot. The line was a little tight too, so this could work out okay. They might bump their own. It's trying to. It's tap weight. Yeah, just a little bump. Leaves them sitting 2. It bumps it to the back 8 foot, biting the 12. But they're lined up, so there's a potential for a double depending on how they hit this rock. They are asking for hit weight. Final vice stone without hammer here for the Nutmeg team. A lot of weight. Gave it a good shove. I think it needs to come over here, though. It's kind of hanging on that center line. Might pick the back one. Did they get the front one? They got a piece of it, but it jams. Oof. Leaves both yellow rocks in the house. Removes the red. So now Racine has a chance to get right back in this game after giving up a 4 in the last end. Final vice stone for Racine. They're asking for a draw to the top 12 to cover up those 2 in the back. And Diane Kelly with her final rock on the way. It says here Diane's been curling for 45 years. I sincerely hope I'm able to curl for 45 years. A little bit heavy on this. It's coming deeper into the rings than they want, so it's about T-line weight. Still going to be exposed. And it looks like they're probably going to throw another hit here and see if they can get 1 or 2 of those rocks out. Not let Racine right back into the game with a big end. Down to skip stones here. So this is going to be a down weight hit or a tap, it looks like. They're giving themselves a good 3 feet of broom. I can't imagine they're going to throw a ton of weight at this. Diane's having a little discussion with her front end here. I think they want to make sure they're all on the same page. Still haven't made any changes to the broom, so don't know if they're changing the shot. I'm just having a little discussion about this. And they tighten the broom up a good 4 or 5 inches. I think they're a little more comfortable with that broom placement. Clean up a little debris off the ice. And now we're ready to shoot. There we go. Rock on its way. Looks to be on target. Extra weight is what the sweepers are saying. It is starting to come over. I think they need to go here. There, the sweepers are on it hard. Here it comes. It's looking good for at least one of them. Just going to peel the one off. I think it over-curled on him a little bit. It didn't even get it out of the rings. That wasn't as much weight as they thought it was. Yellow still lies at least 2. Yeah, it looks like 2 solid yellow. Red 3rd count and yellow 4th count. So Racine still sitting 2 now. Probably going to just draw a 3rd counter in. So Lisa Johnson's first stone here in the 3rd. Line 2 with hammer. Looking to draw top 8 foot. Okay, the line looks pretty good on this. Starting to come across the center line here. Sweepers haven't touched this at all. Could be a little bit right at the end. And it stops right at the tee line. So looks to be yellow sitting 3. All right, that whole left side of the house here is just chock full of stones. So, big decision here with your last rock without hammer, looking at 3 opponent stones. Do you try to hit and cut down? Do you draw in? Do you try to freeze? Cut them down? Lots of choices here. Based on that broom placement, I'm going to assume the freeze or the draw is the call. As Diane comes back down here to throw her final rock in the 3rd. We'll see if the front end agrees with this shot call. Seems to be a little bit of a democratic process going on the last few shots with this team. I suppose that's appropriate here in the All-American Bonspiel, U.S. Women's Nationals. A little tight on the broom. Sweepers are on this hard early. Here, trying to hold that hard for line. This could end up okay. They might get a little bump and flop. And they absolutely do. They are now line count in the top 8 foot. But Racine does have hammer here. Sitting a bunch of rocks in the back of the house. If they could figure out a way to get rid of 1 or 2 of these reds, they could score a big end here. Question is to figure out how to do it. It's what they pay the skips the big bucks for. Make these big shots, last ones at the end. Well, I think the call here is an upweight double. We'll certainly find out when she throws it. This one looks to be a little wide. This could end up being a steal of at least 1. Yeah, I don't know. Oh no. I hope they don't chip that other one in. Yep, just one red. So that's a steal of 1 for Nutmeg. They go up 5-1 after 3. Racine will retain the hammer coming home in the 4th. Watching here on YouTube, you might notice that there is a second camera set up here on your screen. It's actually a user-compatible camera that you can select from each of the different houses. So if you're tired of listening to me, go ahead and give that a look. You can see all 4 sheets going on. No audio, but you'll get the video feeds in case you're interested in one of the non-featured sheet games. That was our president, Dave Secor, just checking in on the festivities here. He's on the way out the door now. As we're getting ready to head back to the action in the 4th end, Nutmeg up 5-1. All right, lead stone for Nutmeg here is going to sneak into the top 12. So not in the free guard zone. And Racine looking to hit. This one may be over curling here. Paula Kalki here. Gonna get a little piece and just move it to the other side of the 12-foot. Just gave that a little start and over curled on her. Calling for another guard here from Felicia. Let's see if she can keep this one out of the rings in the guard zone. Well, they're sweeping it. I don't think it needs it. It's perfect 3 guard. Very nice. Switching it up, throwing for the draw now. Looks to be tight on the broom. Sweeper's thick, it's got plenty of weight though. This may come across and clip the front guard. It's turning pretty hard and it just clips a piece of the guard, which actually works out well. It takes enough of the momentum off that rock to make it stop in the back 8 and sit count. Fully exposed though. Yeah, and Nutmeg's not gonna mess around with that rock, and a 4-point lead. Calls for the straight takeout. That looks to be very narrow. Sweepers are on it, and it's already by. It's, yeah, she turned that right in. See if she can get maybe a wick off her red. Little wick. Almost. Just a little thick on that. If they had swept it a little more, they could have gotten that thin wick. It was very close. So a miss creates an opportunity here for Racine to try to build a multiple point end here with hammer. Seconds rock. Weight looks good on this. Nice close guard, maybe a biter. They're sweeping it now. They're bringing it deeper, trying to get it to the 8 foot. Full 12. Covers up at least a half to 2/3 of that rock that's in the back 8. And Nutmeg will look to run that out, potentially throw a double here if they get a good angle. Good amount of weight here. Rock seems to be tracking wide though. I don't know if it's not gonna come back with that kind of weight. You might get fortunate enough to clip a little bit of the back one, but nope, that kind of weight, it's just gonna slide wide. That was close to peel weight there. So Racine being given another opportunity to pump another rock into the rings, sit a third counter, and put the pressure back on Nutmeg. Draw starting to come back off that sweep line. Sweepers get on it just before the hog. Seems to have plenty of weight. Looks like they're trying to take some of that weight off by clipping a piece of the yellow. They do get a piece. Oh, rolls nicely behind that corner guard. Ah, just in the edge of the 4 foot. So Racine now sits 3. All spread out around the house. And Nutmeg are going to try to draw down and freeze on the count rock in the 4 foot. Oh, this has got a lot of weight. Calling for the plan B shot. They're just going to throw a hit now. Ton of weight. So they're getting a hit and flop here. Drag it over. That actually works out for them. They're sitting 3rd count now. But it's in the top of the house. So that's a danger for the Racine team. Could always be promoted at a later time. This looks to be a little tight here. Sweepers are starting to go a little. Looks light as well. All right. Well, nice 3 guard. Just off the center line. That'll block up that promote. Diane looking at her corner guard now, looking to raise that, throw that up into the ring, see if they can either bump themselves in or bump a yellow out. First vice rocks, looks like it's got lots of weight, but the line is narrow, so the sweepers have to get on it. And that's going to over curl. They might as well get off it and just clip the guard, which they do. Add a little bump. Bumps their corner guard into the 12 foot, takes the yellow stone that was a guard and bumps it into the house, but well out of the way. So Racine going to put that guard back while they're still sitting 2. Nutmeg sitting 3rd and 4th count on the top of the house. All right, a little adjustment there, kind of put it out right at the release, and that's just hanging out there on the sweep line, so it's not going to come over to where she wants. At this point, I think you just might as well sweep it and drag it in. Yeah, come right around that guard. Set a 3rd count. There you go. It's wide out in the open, but Sitting 1, 2, 3. Got to do something about those rocks. As we're getting down to skip stones here. Diane, the skip from Nutmeg, trying to figure out what to do without hammer, looking at 3 opponent stones. And with a 4-point lead, the old adage, make it go away, sounds like the plan. Just a nose hit and you're sitting your 2 rocks in the top 8. Put a little wall up there. Muldowney with their first rock, plenty of weight. They're sweeping hard for line. They're holding it. It's trying to get across. They're holding it. They got at least one. At least one. And they bumped the second one back to the back 12. So essentially a very good double. Didn't remove both stones, but did enough. So now it's only a yellow line 1. With hammer, 2 rocks to play, but all of their opponent's rocks are in the top of the house. So lots of danger here if you throw hits. You might take yourself off the 4-foot. But Lisa Johnson sizing up the doubles here, trying to figure out which one she wants to throw. She's got a couple choices. And it looks like she's going to try to take the 2 that are on the 8-foot. Forget about that top one on the 12. So Johnson really could use a big shot here to get her team back in this. They've been having some struggles here in the first few ends. That second really put them behind the 8 ball, giving up a 4. But a nice double here could put them back in good shape to take a multiple point end here with hammer. Looks to be a little tight. Sweepers better get on this. They do. It's got good weight. Can they just hold that line here to get the double, or are they just going to get the hit and flop for 1? All right, just a hit and a little bit of a flop, but it's in good shape. Sitting 3rd count, so yellow now lies 1st and 3rd. Red lies 2nd and 4th, it looks like. Potentially 2nd and 5th, so it might be 1, 3, and 4 for the yellow. 2 and 5 for red. 1 rock left each. And Nutmeg without hammer trying to figure out how to get that count off the 4-foot. It's a risky shot here. If they do attempt to try to run back some reds, they could take themselves out and leave an open draw for multiple points here. I mean, you have 2nd count. You gotta wonder if this is the good choice here. You don't want to do damage. You're already sitting 2nd count. So some sort of a bump, potentially a run back, depending on what kind of weight they throw. A lot of weight on this rock, and it looks to be wide. I don't think this one's coming back. It's probably going to miss everything. That may actually be the best thing that could have happened. I really feel if they had tried to throw that run back, it was not lined up to hit the Yellowstone on the forefoot. They could have split themselves off, and that would have been disastrous. So at this point, Racine with hammer, probably the safest shot, just the straight draw for 2. Cut the lead in half. Take it to the 5th. And hammer, now released on its way. Looks to have a lot of weight. Line is tight though. Yeah, sweepers don't want to get on it because of the weight. It needs to come over. If it comes over a little more and get a bump, this could actually work out well for them. And it does. It looks like it's good for 2. And it is. They cut the lead in half. It's now 5-3 at our halfway point. Nutmeg will take it with a hammer. And a 2-point lead. Updates from our other sheet. Looks like we're still in the 4th end here on sheet 1. The Wood Rink stole 1 in the 3rd to go up 3-1 against Montgomery. The Cape Cod rink, Calaccio is having a rough go of it on sheet 3. They are down 7-0 after 4 ends, just getting underway in the 5th, and already looking at 2 yellow stones in the house. So not looking good for Cape Cod on sheet 3. And then on sheet 4, the Springstead rink finally got on the board in the 4th with a 1-pointer and trail 4-1 against the Clancy rink. We're going to take a quick little break. We'll get back to you in the middle of the 5th end with Vice and Skipstones here from Broomstones in Wayland, Massachusetts. And we're back here with action in our fifth end on sheet 2, the Nutmeg Racine game. And without hammer here, Racine's second, Barb Vanderleest, being asked to throw a draw into the rings. Looks to be a little outside. Still falling towards that out of bounds line. And Diane out in the frost, going to come up as a very long corner guard. Muldowney asking for a draw in behind the center guard from Karen Shane. Line looks very good right at the broom. Sweepers spectating on this one, so it's a little on the heavy side. Back of the house. And Lisa Johnson gets it all the way back to back 8, back 12. And is calling to just follow that down and get behind that center guard. First vice stone here. Diane Kelly releases the stone. Sweepers lightly brushing that. Line is tracking in nicely. It's dying on him though. Doesn't look like it's going to have enough juice. And just bumps and sits on that guard. Right in the center line, about a 2-3 yard. But without hammer here, not a bad place to leave a stone right on the center line and close guard. And Nutmeg now trying to draw in. Sit a second count. Sweeping it for line now. The sweepers said it had plenty of weight. Might bump the Racine rock into the house depending on how much juice it has here. And it does. It's top 12, sitting second count. Leaves 2 Nutmeg rocks in front of the house as guards. And Lisa Johnson asking to take off one of those guards, clear up some room to throw. Sweeping it right from the near hog line, trying to hold the line here on this hit. It is curling very hard at the end and almost to the nose. Not enough weight. Ends up just being a bump to the top 12 of the guard. It's not second count, it's the third count. But now Nutmeg has a straight hit to sit 3. Potentially 2. It looks like the yellow in the back is still out counting the top 12. Red rock. But either way, a hit for 2 here to lie 2 would be a good place to be with hammer. A lot of weight, looks to be wide as well. Wow, that long corner guard that Racine threw might actually come into play here. Oh my gosh, it did come into play. And a bang bang double, and somehow removed the yellow corner guard, lost her shooter, and bumped back one of her reds into the back of the house. So now lying just the 1. And skips rocks here. Racine's Lisa Johnson looks draw in for count. I believe is the call. She's a little heavy. She's got her own yellow there she could bounce off of. Sweepers are on this. Looks like it's got plenty of weight. He must have been on that for line. And ooh, it just gets by their top 12 and bumps out. It was a heavy draw. Just got by their own and took out the red stone off the back. Now yellow, the Racine team, lies 2 without. And Nutmeg's Muldowney will have to figure out what she wants to do here. Could be the same call. Broom's in a very similar place to where Lisa Johnson just threw. They might just be coming down. Straight draw. They could be throwing a tap. Either way, they're coming down the left side of the sheet with some sort of draw weight. So apparently I misspoke at the end of the 4th end here. These are 10-end games. I've been thinking about club curling, and it's generally 8-end games, so we haven't reached the midpoint yet. In the 5th here, skips rocks with a hammer. First rock for Diane Muldowney. And looks to be a hit and roll here. Contact made, and rolls across the sheet to the 4-foot. Very nicely done, and is sitting one about half buried behind a guard. So in good position to score 2 here. And Lisa Johnson going to go all the way back down and take a look at this house from close up. She's one of those skips that stays down after her first shot and lets the vice call, but important shot like this wants to take a look at it herself. And it looks like they're going to try to play a down weight hit, some sort of control weight, make sure they get around that guard and just tap out that one from the 4-foot, see if they can lie 2. All right, final stone without hammer here for the southpaw from Wisconsin, Lisa Johnson. The line looks pretty good. Sweepers get on it to try to hold. It's riding down that sweep line, but it's starting to come hard. They really need to go to get around that guard, and they cannot hold it. It clips the guard, which leaves red, the Nutmeg team here, with an open draw for 2. Yeah, the yellow team sitting 2nd and 3rd count. There's no real shot for a 3 here. Gotta imagine a straight draw for 2 and get your lead back up to 4 at the halfway point. Hammerstone here for Nutmeg. Sweepers get on it early. Look to have plenty of weight. Sweepers off it right at the far hog line. This has got to slow down. Did they oversweep that? No, perfect. Back 4 foot, takes their 2, extends the lead back to a 4-point lead. At the break, 7-3, Nutmeg over Racine. Scores from our other sheets. Still in the 5th end here on sheet 1. It is now a tie game. Montgomery got a 2 in the 4th. Now a 3-3 tie. Wood has hammer in his line 2 or 3 in the back of the house. And it looks like they have actually a draw for the 4th. So this is the hammer rock there on sheet 1 for Team Wood. And that rock just is on its way now. Sweeper's holding up their hand like it's got plenty of weight. While we're waiting for that to come to rest, Colaccio gave up another steal at 2 and is now down 9-0 to the Callaway rink. And Clancy took a 3 and is now leading 7-1 against Springstead on sheet 4. I believe the Wood shot on sheet 1 was successful for a nice big 4-point score and a now 7-3 lead after 5. Nutmeg starts off with a nice 2-guard just off the center line as we begin our action here in the 6th end. And the call is a draw behind here for Racine. Looks to be a little heavy. Sweepers are watching this. And it is going to be back of the house weight. And comes to rest just a bit into the 8 foot. And call is to follow it down. Felicia Howland asked to draw in. Sit on that rock, freeze to it. It's got plenty of line. It's got to move. It's still outside that sweep line. It's got to come back across center. Weight looks pretty close. It's starting to move now. They get on it. It is moving sideways now. That thing is really curling hard. Looks like they waited just a little too long to get on that and came up short in the 8 foot, but it is fully buried behind that guard they threw with their first rock. So not a bad spot to be. Lisa Johnson asked for a biter on the center line. Looks to have a lot of weight. And it looks like she started it a little bit because it's coming over quickly. It's already on its way back towards center. This is going to be on the guard if they don't get going. It's going to be on the guard. Wow, it is going sideways. It's actually going across the face and misses the guard altogether. Ends up being a corner. Not a bad spot to put a guard with hammer. I almost wonder if that picked up on something because that moved a lot. Another heavy draw here from Nutmeg. That looks to be very heavy. Actually, that might even be through. That is through. Wow, that's got a ton of weight. And the old board weight draw. And the second here from Racine being asked to draw in. Looks a little light and a little tight. Gotta go. Sweepers hold this nicely. You're coming into the 8-foot, at least 4-foot. Very nicely done. Second count. Just biting the top 4 on the center line. It is fully exposed though, and it is a chance now for Nutmeg to run a double. Karen Shane, the second here, being asked to throw this double. Looks to have plenty of weight, a little bit tight on the broom. Sweepers get on it early. Can they hold this? It is just back to center, starting to go. Really need to hold this. They're going to get a piece of their own first, looks like. Yep, they do. It does not have enough to get it out of the rings. It does bump it back to third count, though. So sitting first and third. And now asking for a center guard slash biter for the Racine team. Barb Vanderleest, her second rock of the end. Very tight on the broom here. This one's going to be all over the guard, I have a feeling. Gave it a start, too. Sweepers are trying to hold this and get it by. They're really holding it. Really holding it. Wow, great sweep. Just to get it by the guard, and ooh, it's really close, but I think they got that enough to get second count. That's an excellent sweep by the Racine rink there. Diane and Paula should be proud of that sweep. So now Nutmeg in a bit of a jam here. 2 yellow rocks counting and buried behind cover. First vice rock for Maura Koki. Sweepers get on it early for a little bit. Come off, looks to have plenty of weight. Needs to come over if it's going to get a piece of the one on the 4-foot. It's not. It does pick the one off the back, but it remains Racine sitting 1 and 2 with a couple of Nutmeg rocks out in the 12-foot that are not counting right now. And Racine's Lisa Johnson is asking Diane Kelly here to bring another rock in. Just bite the 8-foot, maybe sit a third count. Sweepers were on this one pretty much from the time it left her hand. And it doesn't look like it's going to have enough juice. It's going to come up short as like a 1 or 2 guard. So more junk up front now. And Diane Muldowney is going to try to throw a run back on her guard up front with a second vice rock here. So I guess the thought process is, you know, maybe you run something back and take the yellow out, or potentially just open up the pathway so you can get to it with your next rock. Sweeper's got to go. Starting to curl, got to go. Oh, it's a really, oh, get off. Really good shot here. Really good shot here. Get 1. Maybe 2, maybe 2. Oh, definitely. Got 1. Actually didn't really change things a whole lot in the house. Now it is still 2 yellow. Guard didn't get removed. And still 2 reds in the 12-foot. There is that 1 red that's out in the back. They haven't moved yet, but I would think that the skip will see that and get it out of the way eventually. And it's a good 2 or 3 inches out behind the back line, and they're just sort of looking at it right now. So Racine without hammer down 4, but they're line 2, both behind tee. So drawing a third one in here looks to be the call, with the last vice rock here for Diane Kelly. Couple of strokes here from the sweepers, making sure that it holds that line. Looks to be it's got plenty of weight. Gotta get off. Gotta get off. Oh no, I think that's tons of weight. That's gonna be back house. It did catch and curl hard at the end. Wow. Just barely into the back 12 and sitting third count. So they're sitting 1, 2, 3. And down to Skips Rocks. And we have a shake over on sheet 3. Looks like the Calaccio ring from Cape Cod called No Joy after a thorough thrashing by the Callaway rink from Exmoor over in the Chicago area. So skip stones here on our featured sheet. Diane, Muldowney trying to throw a draw in and get themselves count. Very deceptive throw. It looks like she's giving it everything she's got, but it's just draw weight, and it's tight on over curling and is all over the guard. Just going to bump the Racine guard from a 1+ to a 2+ guard, and doesn't change a whole lot. So now Racine and Lisa Johnson with her first stone is going to try and bring something into the top of the house and count 4th count if possible. Yep, I guess they're actually calling for a close guard. They don't mind if this comes up a little short and just blocks the path. And ready to go. Johnson's first rock on its way. Nice clean release. Looks to be a little on the tight side. Sweeping for line. Not very hard. Looks like they're by. A lot of weight. This is going to be through. So no change in scenario here. The hack weight draw. 1 rock left for each team. Nutmeg looking at 3 opponent stones without hammer. And just calling for the straight draw. All right, Diane settling into the hack here and getting ready to throw her final stone at the end. Straight draw. Line looks pretty good on this. It's well out to the broom. Sweepers on this. Looks like it's on for weight. Curling hard and checking up on them. They really got to go hard here to get it there. All 4 sweepers on it. Even the vice skip pops out for help. Good effort. And comes up a little short for count, but it is second rock right now. And about half buried behind some junk up front. So decision time with hammer for Lisa Johnson. Her one looks pretty safe, but now it's a question of, can she get multiples? All right, so decision time is over, and it looks like she's not going to play around with that second count red stone and try for a big end. Looks like she's going to try the safe route and just draw a second stone in over on the right side of the sheet from my vantage point, coming back here towards the glass. A little bit narrow here. At this point, it looks like you're doing the raise. So a plan B coming here. Throwing the raise. Got to go hard for line. It's curling. Line's good. Line's good. Come off. Look at this. Look at this. Very nice shot. Gets her 2 with the plan B raise. Cuts that lead right back down to 2. After 6. It is now 7-5. Down 2 without hammer in the 7th. Back to action here in our 7th end. Lead rocks have already been thrown, and we're now looking at the first seconds rock here for Racine. Wow, split the uprights, field goal. Not a lot of room there. Managed to somehow get it through without hitting either of those nutmeg stones. Call here is for a tap on that center guard. Try to bring something into the rings. First rock from Karen Shane, the second here from Nutmeg. Looks to be a little heavy. The line is pretty. Sweepers do get on it, just for a brief moment. Over curls a bit. And nice weight. Brings it to the top forward behind corner guard. Good setup to start here for the Nutmeg rink with Hammer in the 7th. And the final rock from Barb Vanderleest here from Racine in the 7th end. Sort of a tap back here. Looks to be just around the guard. No, caught a piece of it. Just a rub. Missed it by that much. Comes to rest in the back 12, close to the center line. So just a bit earlier on the sweep call, and they make that shot. Unfortunate for Racine. And Karen Shane with her final rock at the end. Being asked to bring a second stone into the rings. Sweepers get on this, trying to hold the line. It looks to be coming up a little short and over curls. Clips a piece of the guard and sits tight guard really close to the center line. So Nutmeg now has 3 guards up front. Racine has 1. It looks like Racine's going to try to tap theirs back. Or, nope, looks now they've changed the call. Now they're going to throw a hit on the red center guard. Try to run it back and potentially pick the one off the forefoot. Little shove there. A lot of weight coming from the vice. Racine, Diane Kelly. Sweepers briefly get on it. Come right off. Here, starting to come over. This could be a good shot. There's one. Oh, jams in the back. So, a bit of unfortunate luck there for Lisa Johnson's team. They left that one in the back 12, and it just got jammed on. So, Nutmeg lies 2 in the outside 12 and the back 12. And now a chance to draw a third one in or even put up a close guard. Try to lock up their 2. Sweepers think this has a little bit extra weight. They're not going anywhere near it. Some hand motions here. Telling the skip, easy now. Little bit of brushing at the end here from the skip. Brings it right to the tee line. That was pretty much natural weight to the forefoot. And about half exposed. And Racine's going to go after that rock. See if they can get in there. Maybe get a hit and roll behind cover. That would be the probably the ideal shot for them. All right, a little bit more normal weight this time. Not ridiculous weight. But this is hanging on the right side of the center line. It's not coming over. And misses the stone they were going after, but does clip the one in the back 12. and comes to rest line second shot. So not the shot they were asking for, but it did remove a red rock from play, so not a completely wasted shot. So red line 1 now. I believe the call here is for a close guard from Nutmeg in the vice. Rock is tracking nicely, coming back towards center and just behind cover. Not deep enough to be count, but it is halfway into the 12. Sitting 4th, Rock. They're sitting 1, 3, and 4 right now with Hammer, ahead by 2 in the 7th end. 2 rocks for each team left. Down to Skip Stones. And Lisa Johnson from Racine having a discussion about what she wants to do here with Diane Kelly. So I'm not sure what the call is here. Broom is right on the right side of the center line. It could be just potentially a hit or hopefully a double if they hit it right on the rock that was just thrown. Yeah, good amount of weight on this stone. It looks to be tight. They got to go quick. There, the sweepers get on it. Trying to hold that line. Might over curl and catch the yellow guard. It does. It just over curls and just removes her own stone. Loses the shooter as well. So at this point now, Red still just lying the 1 though, with an opportunity with Hammer to potentially put up a nice big end here. Looks to be a straight draw. I'm not sure with that broom placement. I mean, there's a port there down the center line. If they just throw a hack weight or board weight hit on that one in the back 12, they could potentially be lying 3 or 4 at the end of this shot, but not the call they're going with. So I'm guessing this is going to be a tap on the one in the top 12. Or maybe a split off that one. A lot of room. This is way outside. Weight seems to be down because the sweepers want to get on it. It's curling hard, and I think it's going to be very light. They got to go. No, this is going to be like a 2 guard. This is a very light stone. Yeah, it comes up short. Not sure what that accomplished. Red's still just sitting there 1 with Hammer. And Lisa Johnson with 1 rock left. Looking at all sorts of possibilities here. While we're waiting for this call to be made, let's take a look at our other sheets real quick. Obviously our 3rd sheet is ended early, but on sheet 1 we are in the 7th end as well. And a steal of 3 in the 6th end puts the Wood team up 10-3 over Montgomery. So that game's starting to get out of hand too. Over on sheet 4, Springstead rink was only able to get a 1 with the hammer in the 7th. They are now coming home in the 8th end, trailing Clancy 10-2. So that game is potentially soon to be over as well if there's not a big turnaround here quickly in the 8th. So the decision's been made here on our featured sheet as to what Lisa Johnson wants to do with her final rock. Not really sure what the call is here. The lefty's throwing an out turn of some sort. I really don't know what she's trying to accomplish with this broom placement. All right, looks like heavy draw weight. Sweeper's on it early. I can't imagine this is getting around the guard. I have a feeling we're just going to crash this guard, and now it's going to leave the Nutmeg team for a draw for 2 or potentially more, depending on the result of this rock here. Yeah, that was pretty light. That didn't even have enough momentum to bump the guard into the ring. So Nutmeg with hammer here, sitting 1. Probably just a straight draw for 2 here. I don't really see a chance to them getting that yellow off the back 12. That's pretty darn buried. So with a 2-point lead, a straight draw for their second point, it's probably the appropriate call here. It's a pretty tight broom considering you've got those reds out front. And looks like we had shakes over on sheet 1. I see somebody dragging rocks back. Yeah, they did post the 7th. It was only a 1-point take for Montgomery, so they called no joy after only getting the 1 and trailing 10-4 after 7. So hammer on its way for the Nutmeg ring. 2. Very tight line. Looks to be now that they're trying to run and get a bump. Looks pretty light. Don't think that's going to have enough juice. No, it does not. It will only be a take of 1 with hammer. So Nutmeg goes into the 8th end without hammer, but they lead 8-5. 3 ends to play in a 3-point lead. So time for Racine to see if they can get their 2 here with hammer, cut this lead down to 1. As I just mentioned, our game on sheet 1 is now ended, with Wood defeating Montgomery. And action over on sheet 4 is looking okay for the Springstead rink right now. They are trailing by a bunch, but they've got 2 rocks in the house. They're on first vice stone, and trying to put some pressure on the Clancy rink, who's got a relatively big lead right now. So don't count them out quite yet. Trying to mount a late comeback. Nice tap back over there on 4. Leaves them sitting 2 in the top 4. So back to our action on sheet 2 here, our featured game. And Muldowney's guard over curls and ends up as a 1.5, 2 guard over on the side. It's a long corner guard. Lisa Johnson asking to draw behind. Try to set up here with hammer. Weight looks pretty good. It's gliding a little. Sweeper's just watching this one go by. It's got plenty of weight. we're looking T-line plus. Just squeaks over the T-line. Nicely guarded behind cover. And asking to come down onto it. And this draw looks to be pretty good. I think they need to go for some weight. It's coming up short. Now they were waiting for it to come over on the line, and it just didn't want to curl, so they had to let it go short. But that's not a bad place to be. They're in the top of the house, sitting second count. And looking to go to the other side of the house with hammer here. Lisa Johnston's rank from Racine. Stone on its way. And nice weight, just a little behind tee again. And sitting third shot, so yellow lies 1 and 3. Nutmeg is looking to try to do a tap here. Throw looks pretty good. Weight looks nice. Starting to come over. Oh, and a very nice shot coming up here. Nice tap. And perfect. They now lie 1. To line up a steal here. Has 1 nicely guarded. Over on the side 8 foot. Lisa Johnson from Racine asking for a takeout. Oh, rock's really narrow. Really narrow. That could even be on the long guard. She gave that a good start. Oh, try for the plan B. Get off it. Try for the plan B. What do we have here? What do we have here? Oh, just dumped the second one in. So now red lies 2. That is not what Lisa Johnson was looking for with that rock. It's an unfortunate turn of events for her. And Nutmeg looking to take advantage of that miss. Throw up a guard. Running out of the house to help her sweepers. Make sure it gets around. Just a little piece of the guard actually works out okay for her. Comes to rest as a nice 2 guard. Now Racine in a bit of a situation here with hammer, looking at 3 red stones in the house, 2 of which are count. Some junk up front. Really need to do something quickly about this. Got to make a hit, open something up. A lot of weight on this rock. Looks to be pretty good line-wise. Got to sweep to get it around that guard. They're holding it. Ooh, just clips the guard. That's unfortunate. Thought they had that one there. And a good defensive call here, just asking to put that guard back. little tight on that line. Sweeper's on it for a little bit, then they come off. Very nice shot here. Puts the guard right back up, guarding their two counting zones. So a lot of pressure being put on the Racine rink here. And calling for another hit. Okay, put that out a little bit, but it should come back. It's not a ton of weight. It's really riding that center line. Here it comes. Here it comes. I think they needed to sweep that a little bit. Did they get enough? Beauty. Very nice shot. Takes one of them out. Bumps the other red rock to third count now. So now they're only looking at one red. In a much better position than they were in. Nutmeg content to throw a guard back up. This looks to be another nicely thrown guard. Plugs that hole. There it is. A nice little wall of red up front. And Lisa Johnson, no choice but to try to clear some of that junk, get a path towards the house. Final vice rock on the way for Racine, throwing a hit. Rock hanging a little bit. Now the sweepers get on it. Very nice shot coming up here. Looks to be very well done. It's an unfortunate little turn of events there on the roll. It did spit itself into the house, and it's pretty close to see who's sitting second count there. It's definitely one red. It could be two. That contact stone spit itself in off the guard, but did clear open that side of the house. Two rocks to play for each team. Real quickly over on sheet 4, the Springstead rink did get a steal of 2 in the 8th, so they are now in the 9th. In a 10-4 game. It's still a pretty tough uphill slug for them, but they're still trying. They're not out of it just yet, so they can get another steal here in the 9th. Who knows what could happen. So Skip's favorite shot, being asked to throw a guard. Always love doing that as a skip. That means your team's been hitting shots in front of you, or you've been getting some luck from your opponent's misses, or a combination thereof. This one looks to be a little heavy. Might sneak its way into the rings. Could be freezing down on those ones on the side of the house. Now it did check up pretty hard at the end, but not really guarding what they were hoping for. So 2 rocks left to play for Lisa Johnson here, trailing by 3 with hammer. And she's electing to try to draw into the pile of rocks over here on the right side of the house. With her first rock and see if she can set up a skip's deuce. To this point, it's been Nutmeg pretty much piling up reds on the right side of this house for the this end. And Johnson's first rock has been released. The line looks pretty good. The sweepers do get on it early. Come off. They're just want to make sure the weight's there. Looks to be plenty of weight. Gonna get a bump of some sort. This should be good. Ooh, it just turned hard. They might have caught a pick there. That's pretty unfortunate because that over curled. Clipped the one in the top 12 and now is sitting wide open. So instead of a good freeze that they were hoping for, they got a bit of unfortunate luck there, and now it's exposed. And we'll give Muldowney a pretty straightforward hit and stick, or even a hit and roll underneath. Just now a conversation about what kind of broom and what kind of weight. All right, she's made her way down the ice now and getting ready to settle into the hack, throw her final rock at the end. Up 3 without. A lot of weight on this rock. It's drifting a little outside. Needs to come back. That's more weight than I've seen her throw all game, so... Oh, it just did start to come back and just got enough of it. Does take it out. And red now sits 3, all piled over there on the right side of the house. Final rock to come here from Racine with hammer. Looks like it's just the straight draw for 1. Guess the question is, will she come towards the center of the rings, or will she use some backing? While we're waiting for her to go down there and line up this shot, just want to give a quick well wish to all of our Broomstones members out there at the Raymond Kaiser Bonspiel in Rochester, New York this weekend, in case any of you were taking a look at your festivities here in between games. Good luck to all of our teams out there. As Lisa Johnson settles in for her final rock here in the 8th end. And she has elected to try to draw into the pile over on the right side. This rock runs pretty straight here. It needs to come over. Sweepers are getting on it a little bit for weight. Now it's starting to curl hard. They, wow, really got to go hard now. Oh no, they're on the nose of that red one, and it's going to be at least 1, if not 2 reds. It's definitely 1. They might measure for the 2. I think it'd be better off to just get the other rocks out of the way. It looks to be 2 red from my vantage point here. And they've kicked rocks, so they agree on it one way or the other. So a steal for Nutmeg in the 8th of at least 1, potentially 2. We'll make this a 4 or 5 point game with 2 to play. Racine does retain the hammer going into the 9th. And let's see what they decide to do. I see a glove coming off. But that's just the lead from Nutmeg getting ready to throw to start the 9th. So no handshakes yet. We're going to get some action here in the 9th end. We'll keep you up to date on the action going over on our only other remaining sheet, which is the Clancy Springstead rinks on sheet 4. They are in the ninth end and Vice Stones right now, a little bit ahead of the game that we're featuring here on 2. As we get underway here with Lead Stone from Nutmeg, and Felicia Howland being asked to throw up a center guard. A little heavy, that's going to make its way into the rings. T-line, T+. And the Vice is posting the score for the 8th there. It was a 2, so that really is going to make this difficult for Racine to come back. Now trailing 10-5, a 5-point lead with 2 to play. Really need to put up a multiple point end here. A 3 would be 3 or more would be ideal. And steal in the 10th. So Johnson with hammer puts up a center guard, about a 2 guard. It's a interesting strategy to put up a center guard with hammer. And Nutmeg going to try to put up some more junk up front as well. It seems to have been working well for him the last couple ends. Sweepers get on this, try to hold the line. It looks like it might be over curling towards the center guard that was just thrown. Yep, that's going to clip the free guard and bump it over to the sweep line. Not a bad result. And now Racine trying to figure out how to score some multiple points here with their hammer. It's drawing around the center guard. Seems to be hanging a little bit. Might clip the corner. It does, and rolls underneath. So now they're sitting with 2 guards. And second rocks here for the Nutmeg rink. Rock is a little on the wide side, hanging out there on that sweep line. Needs to come over if it's going to avoid hitting that corner guard. It does. Just get by. And it's going to sit right about top 4 to the button. Just top 4. Mostly exposed. And that will quickly get a hit call from Johnson from Racine. Downweight hit coming. Sweepers get on it, although it's still tracking out. They might need to come off and let it curl. They need to come off and let that curl. There it goes. That came really hard at the end, and they get a nose hit. And don't remove the rock, but they do send it back to the back 12, so it's out of the danger area right now. Rock does remain out in the open, though, and gives Nutmeg a chance to hit. Nice control weight hit coming. Sweepers get on it to hold that line. It's tracking in there very nicely. Just gets around the guards and looks to be right on the nose. A little bit of an inside roll. It does jam on a rock in the back 12, so it's not removed, but it's second or third count. They did get a little bit of a flop there, so I would say at least half buried behind the cards. A lot of weight here, a little bit of a shove. Sweepers get on it, it's tracking well. Look at this. Nice shot coming in here. Just gets around the guards. Catches about 3/4 of that rock and a little bit of a roll. Very nicely done. Yellow now lies 2 with hammer here in the 9th. We might notice that things are getting a little bit more boisterous around the club here. We got a lot of teams off the ice. Next straw has arrived and getting ready to go out there soon. A few more bodies here. Sweepers got to get on this early, and doesn't look like they're going to be able to hold this. It's by the rock they were trying to get. Sweepers come off. Looks like a flash. We are through. Yep, does not get anything. So an opportunity here for Racine with hammer down 5. There's always a chance for a 10th end here. I'm still looking at the action over at 4. Got all sorts of interesting stuff going on there. It looks like yellow stole another one on 4, and it's going to keep this game alive for another end. They're holding on for dear life over there. So Racine now trying to get another stone in. I believe the call was for either a freeze to their own count or some sort of a tap. At this point it looks to be over curling. It might just be a straight draw. That's fine. It's going to be just T-line. Just top 4 T-line. That's good. Well behind cover. Now yellow sitting 3 with hammer. So we have vice rocks here. All right. Well, over on sheet 4, the Springsteed rink did get a steal of 1, but down 5 with 1 to play. I think they didn't want to finish it up. So after 9, the Clancy rink holds on to win 10-5, which just leaves us our action on sheet 2. So we picked the right game again to broadcast. So Racine trying to make something happen here, down 5 with hammer in the 9th. Currently just sitting 1. And they got to go hard just to get this over the hog line. This one's chunking up pretty quickly. They got it. Okay, so it's now a 1 guard. Just off the sweep line on the right side. And we're down with skips rocks to go. 2 rocks each team. Here in the 9th. Decision time. I'm sitting second count here. I think you just either hit an open rock if you can see something, or maybe even throw some more junk up, make it harder for Racine to get a 2nd or 3rd point in this end. Looks like they might just be hitting the one in the back 12. Our Iceman, Greg Eisenhower, is grabbing the PVC to wrangle some rocks over on 4. The ladies left him down there for him after playing the 9th end. As Diane settles into the hack here to throw her first stone in the 9th without hammer. 5-point lead. Looks like just a straight hit on the back one. Yep, a lot of weight on this one. She gave it a good shove. It's tracking wide. I don't know if that's going to come back. It's out there in the frost, so it may pick up some curl, but it's trying to come back and just misses by on the right side. So no harm, no foul. It's still not really going to come into play in this end unless I can figure out how to get that red off the top 8. So Lisa Johnson now has to figure out how to try to score some points in this end. Get that red off the top of the 8-foot. Looks like the call is a double run back. Trying to run the stones on the left side of the house, the two guards there, the red into the yellow into the red. And hope for the best, I suppose. I mean, if you can run that yellow straight back, you could potentially pick the red off. But this is a very difficult shot here, and there is some danger. You could run yourself out of count. Okay, a little bit of a shove here. Rock looks to be pretty close to line. It's got to come over. It's got to come over. Got to go. I think they're a little late on that call. It's not a bad result, though. It does clear one of those guards out of the way. Gives them a little more access to the red second shot. So depending on what Nutmeg does here, it could open up the chance for a multiple point end. Looks like Nutmeg's going to look to throw another one in there as second or third count and really force the 1 or 2 here and put them in good shape for the last end. Final rock here without hammer for Diane Muldowney. Little wide. Let's see what kind of weight we've got with this. It might bump a guard in depending on what kind of weight she threw. It is starting to come over and clips the guard. All right, no damage there. It actually ends up covering up the red in the top 8. Sort of helped them. It's going to be very difficult now to get anything more than just a straight draw for 2. But it looks like Lisa's looking to try to throw some sort of a hit here. I guess her thought process is that 2's not enough. She needs to try for a play for 3 somehow. So she's looking to raise the center guard in and potentially pick the red off of the top 8. This is a very difficult shot. I have a feeling if it's not made, we could see some gloves getting taken off. No, it's the sound of Velcro from your opponent is the sound of a victory for yourself. So rock on its way. Sweeper's on it hard. It's looking a little narrow. They got to go hard. I don't believe they're going to be able to hold this. It is over curled and looks to just be the 1 yellow. Whoa. Wait, yeah, too much weight. And it sneaks through. So just the 1 yellow. They'll go to the 10th trailing by 4. Front end is looking at the skip saying, what do you want to do? And she says throw him back. You know, she's not ready to give up yet. Stranger things have happened. Trailing by 4 without hammer. You know, I don't disagree with this. Why not? See if you can throw a couple of good center guards up. Maybe get one in the top 4 and get a miss or 2 from your opponents. Anything can happen. Little bit of a wobble there. Gets it back online though. Starting out this 10th end, coming back home towards the glass. Looks like Racine lost a sweeper on this stone. But no worries. They had enough weight to get it over there. A nice 2-guard. A little off the center line, but you know, you need guards to score without hammer here. Yeah, I like that call. Throw it through. No rocks in play. They can't score. Oh. Changing her mind. Looks like it's an either-or situation. She's saying draw it behind, and if you're going to miss heavy. And it looks like she's going to miss heavy. That's got a little bit of weight on it. So, no problem. Leading by 4 with hammer. You don't want to give anybody a chance to come back here. Sweepers hop on this right off the hog line. Trying to sweep that for weight. They come off halfway down the sheet as it's starting to curl. Oh, they're not going to leave this up high. They're bringing it into the rings. Well, unfortunately, by coming deep with that, they do allow the Nutmeg team to throw a hit here. They come up a little sooner. They could have saved that as a free guard, but alas, it runs into the 12-foot. And Nutmeg throws the hit here. It looks to be pretty good out of the hand. Sweeper's on it for line. That is curling very quickly, very early. They do get enough of the rock, though, and roll underneath cover. So with hammer sitting 1, top 12 behind the corner guard. At this point, Nutmeg's just trying to run Racine out of rocks. Very tight here on the broom. Sweeper's got to go hard for line. Also looks to be a little light. Yeah, this looks like it's coming up as a 2-guard. These 10-end games, sweepers may be running a little low on energy. It's time to get back inside the glass, get some snacks. And just try to clear some guards here. A little narrow. Sweeper's got to go early. They got to hold this just to get a piece. Just came across enough to avoid the jam. Shooter stays in play as a corner guard. But Racine's running low on rocks here, and they really need to get something into scoring position. This rock seems to be hanging out a little bit. Doesn't look like it's going to get behind anything. So should be wide open, top 4. Just barely biting the 4-foot. Wide open. Should give Nutmeg an easy hit here. A little heavy and a little wide. This rock needs to curl. Starting to come. Oh, it curls a lot in the last few feet. Not going to remove it, but it does move it all the way out to a bite of the 12-foot, so it's no longer count. And again, Racine looking to draw. The sweeper's got to go. This is a little light. They really need to pound this hard if they're going to get it into the rings. I don't think this is going to make it past 2-guard. No, unfortunate. Comes up short. All right. Interesting. Calling for the inside-out hit on a rock way out in the outside 12. Deep in the house. Ooh, put that out. This could be on the guards. Nope, starting to come over. It's going to just get by those guards. Oh, clips one. All right, so not a big change there. Didn't really have much of an effect. And with 3 rocks remaining, down by 4, needs to figure out something quickly. This one looks to have plenty of weight. Looks like we're going to get some sort of a tap here. Straight raise. Straight raise. Look at this. Look at this. Nice shot. Excellent shot. It removes the red stone and is now sitting 2 with 2 stones left. So they are not out of it yet. Good time for Diane Kelly to make a big shot here in the 10th end. And a little corner of this rock is covered, so it's not a straight open hit here. Looks really tight out of her hand. That's all over the guards. Got to look for the plan B now. Look for the run back. Nope, too late. It hangs wide. It's gonna crash the guard. Uh-oh, did they spill a third one in? They spilled a third one in. Look at this. So good news, bad news. Bad news, they spilled a third one in. The good news is both those guards are out of the way now. All the yellow stones are sitting out in the open. So still need to figure out what Racine's going to do here to try to steal 4. The whole center of the rings is still open, so, you know, at bare minimum, Diane will still have a draw to the 4-foot for her hammer shot if needed. Sweepers get on this from the far hog. Got to make sure it's there, girls. Got to make sure it's there. Don't wait on it. Got to touch paint. Got to touch paint. Oh, no. Oh, no. They came up a little early on that and left it short. So at this point, now it looks like all Diane has to do for Nutmeg is get rid of one of these 3 counting stones, and that should be game. Now the way these stones are lined up, though, if she overcurls at all, she could just chip it into the rings. So not a straightforward hit here. So first skip stone for Nutmeg 2. Not a lot of broom here, just calling for the straight hit. A lot of weight, gave that a good shove, and it looks like she's actually on the top 12 one. As long as she gets a solid piece of it, it'll go away though. Yeah, it looks like she got enough of it. So now the only shot to try to get 4 into the house is the long split. Nothing like a 2-foot split for a skip. Has to be the perfect combination of line and weight to hit that just at the right angle and roll your shooter in. This isn't even an easy shot when it's right near the rings, let alone having to go 1.5 feet. And it looks to be a little tight. Sweeper's got to go. This looks like it might curl. Actually, it's holding the line pretty well. Oh, that was just a little heavy, actually. It was a really close shot, just a little heavy, and just held out there too long. All right, so the shakes have come out now, and we have a final. They ended it in the 10th end. Final is 10-6. Muldowney over Johnson, Nutmeg over Racine, and that concludes the 11 o'clock draw from the USWCA Bonspiel here at Broomstones in Wayland, Massachusetts. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back for our 2 o'clock draw, in which our featured game will end up being Schenectady 2 versus Centerville. So we'll be back at 2. Have a good time.